Hey guys, what it do? It's your boy Supreme Chill the God, and I want to talk about Dark. You know what I'm saying? The hardcore leveling warrior, man. First of all, bro, I think it might be my favorite manga, webtoon, whatever the fuck you want to call it, of all time, bro. This shit took my breath away. It gave me the kind of feeling I felt after I first read Akira, man. That shit was wow, breathtaking. And I started out sluggish. The first 10 chapter, I felt like I had to just slug through them. Like, oh, damn, I promised my friend that I'm gonna read this shit, so I'm gonna read this shit. You know what I'm saying? I promise I'll give it a good chance, so I'm gonna do this shit. And I just slugged and slugged. And about 20, 30 chapters in, it just felt like a natural thing to read it. You know what I'm saying? Bro, about 40, 50 chapters in, I was gone, bro. Every moment I got, I wanted to read it. Every second I got of free time, I wanted to read it. I need to read it. I need to read it. I need to read it. Kept reading, kept reading, kept reading. And within a week and a half, essentially, I caught up to 204 chapters. 14 chapters even. Best decision ever. It changed my life. It changed my personality. This way I'm back with a motherfucking vengeance. You know what I'm saying? I felt lazy today. I recorded 2 videos. Well, 2, reviews or whatever. And I was like, damn, bro. Let me chill in bed. Let me go to sleep. And then I started talking to somebody about like anime and shit. And I was like, damn, bro. Hardcore leveling warrior, bro. I need to be a hardcore leveling human. You know what I'm saying? And because I wanted to be a hardcore leveling human, I gotta hardcore level this shit. So here we are talking about Dark, man. Dark is one of my favorite characters in the whole webtoon. I don't really know if I have a favorite character because I actually really love most of the characters in the webtoon. That's what makes it very interesting, especially all the main characters. Hard Heater. I love Yopi, even though can't really say he's a main character. I love Yopi. Drip Soup, shout out Drip Soup, you know what I'm saying? With a name like Drip Soup, just his name alone, Drip Soup, you know what I'm saying? Coco Baby, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Coco Baby, you know what I'm saying? Swordsman, you know what I'm saying? Obviously Ethan himself, the hardcore leveling warrior, shout out Sora, you know what I'm talking about? Like, even Zero's kind of lit, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I fuck with the whole shit, bro, the whole shit, like, you know what I'm saying? The God of War was one of my favorite, you know what I'm saying? It's just, there's so many great characters and great aspects and great storytelling, so much more to discover throughout the whole thing that it is crazy, you know what I'm saying? And I'm really excited, bro. I'm really super excited for what's to come. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait for what's to come. And when it comes true, I can't wait for the next few chapters. I'm gonna start doing chapter reviews for it because well, as stated, I've caught up to it, and now I feel comfortable, and I know everybody enough that I'm able to talk about it. That's one of the reasons I wanted to catch up on it. Prior to getting obsessed with it, was because I wanted to know so much detail about the characters that every chapter I can fully, completely talk about it, per episode. Even not too much happens, I can get the nuances, I can get the introspective bits of it, I can talk about so many details, you know what I'm saying? And I couldn't do that without first reaching this chapter. So now that I'm here, I might even do from chapter 200 to 205, sorry, from the, after the AE chapters to the current one. You know what I'm saying? I might, we'll see. But I think I might just start with the latest one because, hey, fuck it. But first I want to talk about Carter. Carter. I wanted to say Dark and Carter at the same time, so I said Cart. But Carter, aka Dark, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start with season 1 Dark. You know what I'm saying? Season 1 Dark, you got this little kid who, he's extremely arrogant in a way, but not like, I don't know, he was always different. You know what I'm saying? There was something different about him, right? First of all, I was confused throughout the whole, like, until they kind of explained it a bit later, like 100 chapters. I was so confused as to why Heart Heater was following Dark, especially since he was an NPC. And as far as I knew, unless you're way more powerful than the NPC that follows you, they normally don't follow you. So I was like, but surely Heart Heater's way more powerful than this kid. You know what I'm saying? And he showed little glimpses of how powerful he is. I think even when they first met, you know what I'm saying, when he got them out of there, it was very interesting. And I was like, why is he following Dark? And they just never really talked too much about it. He was like, that's my boss. And it's like, what the fuck? Hardcore leveling warrior was afraid to pay your ass. Like, being late paying your ass. And this guy's your boss? How does that work? How does that make any sense? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was kind of like, not to say confused about, but I just didn't know what was going on. But obviously, later on, when we get into detail about this special kid called Dark, we'll see why. So, at the start, again, he asked Hardcore Level Warrior because he was the best gamer of all time, essentially, right? He was the number one ranked in the game. He reached such a level, like, it was ridiculous. He was fighting thousands and thousands of high players, and he was demolishing them with ease, you know? And his arrogance lost him all his powers when he got stabbed and got critical. And he's the only character base that loses every single one of his stats after he dies. Others, they logged out, the first logged out, and then it takes them a day or two to log back in, and they can continue leveling up. They might lose some XP or something, but they don't lose all the stats. Hardcore's character stats, because he can master every single stat and every single type of thing, he loses everything and goes back to level 1. So, when Dark meets him, he's assuming he's going to be meeting the mighty Hardcore Leveling Warrior, but he meets the reset Hardcore Leveling Warrior, who I don't think would have trained him, who I don't think would have accepted him, because he was too arrogant. He was living in a penthouse. He was rich. He couldn't really leave the house, his penthouse, his rich life, and really fully live it, but he was rich. He could afford everything. He was a celebrity within the game and outside in the real world. That's all that mattered, right? The allure. But his life was not great. And I don't think he realized it until what he went through with Dark. You know what I'm saying? I know it's kind of like I'm talking about Ethan at the moment, but it's very important for me to talk about Ethan so you guys can fully understand Dark. You know what I'm saying? So, Dark at that moment utilizes that. He knows, he's like, look, don't worry about it. I'm the Hardcore Level Warrior. I can help you. They go to a dungeon, that's essentially possible to do at such a low level. But because Hardcore is there and he knows all the tricks and buffs and every detail of the game, they get through it. Dark slowly begins to mature, becomes stronger. He gets the final blow on Lazy, who's a super powerful demon who lost a lot of his powers after losing to Zero, right? I suppose this is kind of like there's no point watching this unless you've read Hardcore Level Warrior, to be honest, because it's hard for me to re-explain a lot of details. So if you haven't, maybe try to go read at least 20-30 chapters. Well, there's gonna be hella spoilers, so don't even bother unless you've caught up. But he grows and he begins to grow and he becomes stronger, especially with Lazy on his side. And he he's a warlock, right? So he got magic powers, and that's his trait, his attribute or whatever, right? At least at the time, I suppose attribute in a Hardcore Level was completely different at the time. We didn't know his attribute. We didn't even know about attributes really, as the author really spoon fed us, like barely any sips of details until it was like the right moment, the right time. You know what I'm saying? He really took his time with it. But yeah, it was just great how his character development went. He in season 2 right now, currently, he is extremely way more confident in himself, but also more careful. He went broke because in season 1, what's important as well is when at the time when we met him, he felt like he could solve everything with money. He felt like he could get stronger by paying Hardcore Level money off his debts. He felt he can get strong. He can get stronger by just getting better items. He felt he can do everything via money. The only thing he would not change was his gear, right? Which was I always found interesting. They never really talked about why or anything. Hardcore Level Warrior and Sora, they changed the outfits like consistently, like 4 times at least, I think, throughout the game. Dark didn't change it even once. He just had those outfits, and supposedly they were already super top tier outfits, even though it was just like some shorts and some fucking in a hoodie. You know what I'm saying? It was special. I think that was probably his granddad gave him that. I don't know if his dad, like, it was kind of weird for a while because it was like they kind of teased as if it was his dad, really, and not his granddad. But then it was like it is his granddad. But like it was kind of weird. He's supposed to actually be the son, but a lot of the wiki pages still has him as grandson, which I'm still like not 100% sure. Maybe they'll give those details later. But his story arc is very, very interesting, and his growth is very, very interesting. I think he's the key and the main reason why a Hardcore Level Warrior changes as a person. I think he's the driving factor. I think actually, even though Hardcore Level Warrior is technically a protagonist, our story really isn't about him, if that makes sense, right? Our story is about, it's more about Dark, really, and Dark's family. It's a family affair, right? And Hardcore 11 Warrior, at least in season one, was just the eyes that we saw the story through, right? Um, but I actually felt strongly from around chapter 70, 80, maybe even 90. It could be a little bit later. I think it's not no later than chapter 90. I felt like the story was about Dark and not really. And Hardcore Level Warrior was a conduit. You know what I'm saying? Like a vehicle to tell the story with. But if you think about it, really, everything revolved around Dark. Dark's granddad created Lucid Adventures. His family runs Lucid Adventures. He is an heir for Lucid Adventures, and he's competing to try to gain control and access of Lucid Adventure, but not for the selfish reasons that everybody else seems to be getting. It was mainly because he wanted to see his granddad. That's really it, and that was the way that he felt that he could do it. And the more we found out about his real life as Carter, we discovered that out of everybody was just trying to get something from the granddad. Like, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. He always gave his granddad stuff. His granddad asked for like an idea about a character. He did it. He designed it. He did everything. He gave him a present for his birthday. He looked out for him. He cared about him. And he felt like only his granddad paid attention to him and cared about him. Right? Because he didn't care about the business. All he cared about was having some quality time with his granddad. And a tragic moment was when his dad, who we found out wasn't really his dad, right? And people still think, like, I don't know, it's weird. People still think that. I don't understand. The wiki page is kind of all over the place at the moment. Shout out to them. They do a lot of work. Obviously, it's for free. But at the same time, I do think those are small details they could fix. But he basically, what was I saying? His family, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. His quote unquote dad, adoptive dad, it seemed like, tried to kill him to get him out of the way, because they all felt like Roy Han and the granddad was felt that had a favorite, and his favorite person in the world seemed to be after his wife's death seemed to be Carter. And then the powers that actually created Lucid Adventures saved him. So obviously there was something special about him from the start. And it's also one of the reasons why it seems Heart Eater follows him to the death. And Dak always wondered. He even asked him, like, why do you follow me? And he's like, there's something you did that you don't realize you ever did. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, I want to know what that thing is. So one of the key great things about Dark is his willpower. For a little kid, man, his willpower is insane. He wills things to existence. You know what I'm saying? He willed his strength to existence. You know what I'm saying? But he's also realism. He gets annoyed really easily. His goal, he's very ambitious. He wants to meet his grandfather. That's all he cares about, man. Like, that's so pure. And Hardcore is money, bro. He just wants to get out of debt and live like a boss again. You know what I'm saying? And when Hardcore was faced with betraying Dark and the team, even though Sora knew and overheard everything, she trusted him. And Dark also trusted him. You know what I'm saying? They were pissed off that he was almost late, but he came back. And I don't think he would have came back if it wasn't for Dark's influence. You know what I'm saying? And Dark has a lot of influence in everybody. In Heart Eater. Heart Eater becomes way more, throughout that series, he's become way more, what can I say? Kinder, right? He's been way kinder since meeting Dark. I think Dark and Sora had a very unique relationship where it was like kind of rivalry, but he's like, Sora was like the big sis that Dark didn't want to listen to. Until he had to listen to her because she won. So that was great. The relationship dynamics is phenomenal. And it's, I don't know, he's just a character that really intrigued me from the whole start till where he is now. how the game itself, Lucid Adventures, the world itself, bestowed, like, saw him uniquely and bestowed something to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, even Yopi, King Yopi, wanted Team Dark to win. He looked at Team Dark, Hardcore 11. Well, not because, I don't think it was because of Hardcore 11 Warrior. I think it was because of Dark, right? And that's actually one of the reasons why they kicked them all out of the place, because they felt like Yopi liked Dark too much, and you know, Dark was bringing trouble to them, because obviously wherever Dark goes, the Giga family is after them, and because the Giga family is after them, casualties happen, people get captured, problems occur, and that's not good for Yopi land. And King Yopi is one of the kindest guys in the whole thing, even though we'll get to that. You know, I'm going to do his own character breakdown as well. The wikis don't have too much information on him. If anybody in the wiki is watching this, I doubt they are, because don't have a lot of views yet. But I'm willing to help write information for all these characters. Even be a member to help update these characters, you know what I'm saying? Because I really fell in love with this thing, and I'd like to contribute and help other people understand the story and the characters and the nuances and everything in between, because I feel like I've grasped it really, really well, even though I've only read it for a week and a half. I've caught up to everything, and because of that as well, I remember everything quite tightly, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people read this once a week for like years, and because of that, it's easy to forget a lot of details, right? But I just read it, so everything's a bit more fresher in my brain right now. But yeah, just, you know, Dark's character again, man, it's just something that intrigued me. And then in season 2, when he comes back and he's taller, he's bigger, he's older, he's stronger, ranked number fucking 3. I wasn't surprised. It was amazing to see. I wasn't surprised. I remember he was gifted so much XP that he went to level 90, from like level 50 something to level 90. And Hardcore 11 Warrior got nothing. Because, hey, let's face it, that dude OP is a motherfucker anyway. You know? And when we finally saw him at 100%, holy bajibus. Holy bajibus, that dude was different. I gotta do a video on just Ethan, man. Shout out to Ethan. I think I'm gonna do a video on real life Ethan, and I'm gonna do a video on in-game Ethan, and then I'm gonna do like a Ethan, like a 3-parter. You know what I'm saying? I'll talk about all of that, because I love Ethan as well. You know what I'm saying? But season 2 so far, man, Dark's powers, his hacks, the fact that he's using hacks, the influence from Hardcore 11 Warrior that bestowed upon him, phenomenal. You know, I'll talk into detail about his influence on a Hardcore 11 Warrior, and maybe a Hardcore 11 Warrior's own video, and Semasora. But now, you know, I'm just so excited to see what happens to him. He's made friends with Frank. I can never remember say his fucking name. Frank. You know the guy I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the fan guy, man. Come on, god damn it. Let me just wait, because this is gonna annoy the shit out of me. The Fang Shui guy. Like, what the fuck? What's his name? Brrrr. What the fuck? Why's his name not here? He's in Darkland, so... Oh, he's not in Darkland, actually. Giga Empire. He was in Giga Empire before. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Eyebrows, man. For flip's sake. Why is he not in the character? Like, I feel like I'm just complaining about this motherfucking wiki page, but like, how do they not have this man in the wiki page? Like, I don't understand. Okay, let me see if I can find him like this. Really? But anyway, that dude, Fang, you know the guy I'm on about. White hair, big eyebrows, super strong. Him. Feng Xian. Yeah, Feng Xian, right? I won't forget now. I will forget 100%. Feng Xian. You became real friends with him in real life. You find out that Feng Xian actually bullied him. And how he dealt with that, actually, you know, from 16 onwards. I think it was maybe 16, 17, before he got his, like, super growth spurt. How he dealt with that whole situation was super interesting. It was really amazing, actually, to be honest. How he was getting bullied, and he was like, yeah, I got beaten, but don't worry, I'll beat him eventually. Like, his Hardcore 11 Warriorness just hit him. He was like, you beat me now, but just wait. I'm gonna be back for y'all. You know, that's hella coins dropping from just the pure emotion that I give. Shaking the table with this shit. But yeah, man, I don't know. I'm just kind of talking about it just because I really love the character. But yeah, man, it's just great to see the progress and how he is now and how he dealt with that situation because it wasn't easy. And he also showcased to hardcore leveling warrior and Ethan that like, yo, just because somebody's rich don't mean they ain't got problems. Like literally, people are trying to assassinate this man. People try to poison this man. People try to drive him off a motherfucking like all type of shit happened to this boy, and this boy is still out here, still just looking for his granddad, just to see his granddad, just to hang out with his granddad, still not giving a fuck about the money like that. And then he goes broke, and he figures out a way to make that shit back because other people need that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because he's city. Darkland needs that shit. 6 months later, he comes through with the guap like boom. I did the stock market, bitch. Come on, how could you not love this kid, bro? How could you not love this kid? This is just a love letter to Dark, man. It's been your boy Supremacy the God. I hope you guys enjoy that. If you guys, enjoy reading it, I'll probably go into more details about nuances and powers and stuff like that later. I just really wanted to appreciate the character, Dark, you know what I'm saying, and the character himself, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to talk about. But we might talk about the differences in powers between Season 1 Dark and Season 2 Dark, you know what I'm saying? And kind of the buffs, the new buffs that he has, like that whole time manipulation thing where he can save game, bro. He can save game, bro. Shit, the excitement is real. I can't wait to see Ethan. We miss Ethan. We all can't wait to see Ethan. You know what I'm saying? It's been months for those that have been reading weekly. It's only been like a day for me. You know what I'm saying? So, it's been your boy Supremacy the God. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, leave a comment. Let's have discussions. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about anything, man. I really enjoy having conversations with you guys. And please subscribe because it helps the channel. And I'm out.